So I want to talk about a conversation that keeps coming back to back for me personally, and that is, uh, well, I'm going to call it perfection. It's not really what it is, but it's kind of what we chase, and a lot of people that I teach and coach, and myself, I think struggle with a lot. Right? I can't. A lot of us won't make a decision, won't make an action, won't do something until we have all the answers. I know this is what I have done lately, and I just realized it, where I'm waiting for an answer before I move on to the next step. I don't feel quite ready to do the one thing, and I'm just waiting for that certainty before that movement, before that action, before what we do next. And it just it just can't happen, right? When I wait until I'm ready, nothing usually happens. I sit there and I'll do other projects. I'll do something else. I'll wait for a phone call. I'll let something take me off track, take me off that scenario that just struggles. I will definitely overthink, and I get stuck in mud really, and it becomes a really big challenge to get out of that. But I find when I say yes and figure it out, momentum happens, right? I'm going to tell you, without going too far down this rabbit hole, this became a reality to me very, very shortly, just very recently, rather. I I am finding when I am saying yes, I will figure it out. I will get it done. It may not always be the best strategy, right? Because we do need details. We need that information. We need the the educated skill-based information to make things move forward. But if it doesn't come and we're waiting on that one thing, we're going to have to figure out what plan B or plan C, because when I am delivering things or I make yes to something, I got to figure it out because people are relying on me, right? I'm a team of one. I'm a leader of one. And that means if I don't do it, no one does it. And waiting to get the perfect answer or to know all the information in place is just um it's just unproductive. It's just living in quagmire. It's just living in a solution that's just not going to produce momentum. It's not going to produce movement. And we do live in an overthinking world, right? So uh this is not a blame. This is not an accusation. This is not a scenario that I sitting there saying, we fall short or we do what we're not supposed to do on this. The problem's real. We are overloaded with information. We have hundreds of people that want to give opinions. We have AI tools thinking for us. You got webinars you can attend. You have social media. We have several endless pieces of content information that will keep us stuck because there's 100 opinions. And they may be right. They may be wrong. But the nice thing about all that stuff that we're seeing is they have something. And that's what we need to have. We need to take those actions. We need to get those results. And when we have all this over indebted information, people just freeze, right? I have called it many times the buyer's journey. There was a common thing out there, and confused buyers don't buy. Well, confused leaders don't produce. So it's a scenario. So some of the things we need to do is focus on what we know, focus on what we get done, and make sure that we get in place, because indecision will feel very unproductive. Um, Overthinking tricks people into forms. Well, indecisions will be unproductive. It may, though, feel productive. And what I mean by that is overthinking tricks us to feeling like we're productive. We're busy. How you doing today? I'm pretty busy. Well, busy doesn't mean productive, and definitely doesn't mean profitable. It can, depending on what we're doing. But what it does is mentally research feels like work. Planning feels like progress, but it's the movement that creates momentum. It's one of the things one of my PT guys always tells me when I'm saying I'm achy or I'm doing something. He's asked me what I've done lately, and I'll be honest, and I say not much. He goes, motion is lotion. Well, it's the same thing for us. We got to be doing something. Doing that stuff moves. There's certain things that happen with our brain that when we're doing things and we're active and we're moving forward, there's a lot more going on in our body and our brain and our cells to keep things moving forward. But that preparation, while important, isn't movement. It's pre-movement, and we need to get out there. So, examples. Let's wait to launch. I don't have a post yet. I'm waiting for the lead to come. I'm waiting to hire somebody. I'm waiting to start the business. Right. These are all challenges that we have, and good, bad, or indifferent, we need to do that. And failing forward is a huge thing for us to make sure that we have what's happening in our world, because the only way you're going to fail is by doing. You can't fail by sitting. Well, you probably can, but really you can't. And this is where we got to go. So what I am starting, well, no, what I've always realized, but I'm starting to realize is clarity often comes from movement. Most people think clarity comes first. The reality is no. Movement creates clarity, action creates feedback, and momentum creates confidence. And that's the part I want us to get through. Like, confidence is huge. We need to have confidence. Otherwise, we walk around shaky, we walk around hemming and hawing, and we do this. But we can't get confidence without action. We will fail. Again, we will do certain things, but we need to move forward in these conversations. And what I want us to make sure that we're doing in here is creating that movement for clarity, action for feedback, and momentum for confidence. That's what I want to make sure that we're doing. And I want us to do this by doing about three things, right? I want to ask us some questions. Does this align with where I'm trying to go? Not, is it perfect, but does it move me forward? Does it move me from A to B or B to C? Not A to Z, that next step. What does that look like? How do we move forward inside that arena? Next question, is this a risk or is it just fear? Risks we should evaluate, right? We should ask more questions. We should get some things. Like, again, I'm never telling you should just jump off the bridge and see what happens. But what I am saying is fear sometimes puts us back into a comfort area that will not move the needle. Fear is something that we're going to have to get past. We all have it. We all do want to avoid it, which is a human natural instinct. It's from what you hear and what you hear people say, it's bred into us, right? It's survival instinct, caveman era type stuff. But fear can also immobilize us, and we got to figure out how to get past that. So make sure you understand if it's a risk or fear. And what happens if I do nothing? What happens if I don't make that phone call? What happens if I don't go to that networking event? What happens if I don't, for me, build that next project? What if I don't make my phone calls? What's it costing me? What's it costing you? What's it costing us to not chase our dream, our desire, our way that we want to live? How does that affect our stuff, right? Again, AI is so helpful for us. It can help us brainstorm and help us can alleviate something. If you use AI, it can actually be your critical thinking partner, and it can challenge you to think a little stronger. It works pretty good. But it still has to be us. It still has to be us that is working past that. It still has to be us realizing that one step forward, while it made us nervous, it raised our heart rate, it moved us a little bit, didn't kill us. And what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. I want us to take those steps, take those actions, and move forward. So what do we do? What are some of those real world examples that we can do in here? So I'm going to tell you right now, what I am telling and talking to you both is not only about your own personal business, it's about leadership as well. I'm a huge guy into leadership. I love this conversation. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So everything that we do, everyone that's been listening that are in there, understand that when you're influencing something, a decision, a conversation, you have leadership skills that are there. This is content creation. I tell everybody in the world to create video. It's the most consumable content online today. And I get the fear. Public speaking is one of the biggest fears out there, but it shouldn't stop us. Adopting AI. Maybe it's speaking associations. Maybe it's starting a new job, right? Your entrepreneurial world. So what do we want to do? Say yes. No is a good thing. We can't say yes to too many things. Saying yes specifically to what makes sense for your vision, your world. Launch that webinar before you start. Take that leadership role. That's where a lot of this came for me, to be completely honest with you. I said no to a lot of association stuff. A lot. The best thing I did, not only for myself personally, but myself professionally, was say yes to that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm okay with me saying no when I said no. There was things that needed to change before it was ready for me and ready for them. I probably said no a little bit longer than I should have. I wish I would have said yes a little bit earlier. I was okay with my first couple no's. I should have said yes earlier, but that changed things. It pushed me. It challenged me. It made me learn new things, like learning new systems or finding ways to be in front of people more often. So what I want you to think of is strong leaders are comfortable making decisions before everything else feels perfectly clear. Indecision usually feels productive. It's not. And I want you to also realize movement creates momentum. And momentum teaches lessons that preparation never will. So with that, if you are been feeling stuck from overthinking, waiting, trying, this is a reminder for you. You do not need perfect. You need or certainty to move forward. You need direction. You need intentionality and the willingness to adapt. Momentum starts when movement starts. So I hope you liked this. I hope everything was helpful for this. I hope this was something that meaningful. This was something that means a lot to me right now. It's a little different from our last couple ones this month, but I've ran into this conversation several times in the last week, so I felt like it had to be said. So I hope this was here. In the comments, write momentum and tell me afterwards what you've been overthinking or how you're overcoming some of those non-momentum events that we have created for ourselves. Can't wait to see what you guys are doing. Hope things are working well for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're watching YouTube. If you're on the podcast, subscribe from there, make reviews, help me out. Share this with anybody you can share with that you think needs to hear this today. See you next time.